Forget everything you've been told about manifestation. Seriously. Forget the vision boards covered in cutouts of sports cars. Forget chanting, "I am abundant," into the mirror 100 times while you feel like a total fraud. That's not what this is about. Most of that is just spiritual bypassing, a way to feel like you're doing something without actually changing the deep patterns that keep you stuck. Today, we're going deeper. We're talking about 5 powerful rituals that feel so effective, they're almost unsettling. They work on a totally different level, targeting the deep-seated programming in your subconscious mind. I have to be honest, I was a complete skeptic. I thought all of this was just wishful thinking. But then, at a point where I felt like I had nothing to lose, I tried the 3rd ritual on this list, and what happened next completely changed the course of my life. It wasn't a coincidence, and it wasn't a magic trick from a movie. It was a real, tangible shift that started inside of me and then rippled out into my world. So, I dare you to try these. Come at them with an open mind and a serious intention, and just watch as your inner world starts to reshape your outer reality. Section 1. Ritual 1: The Sacred Intention Chamber. Alright, let's start with the foundation. Before you can build a new reality, you need a blueprint and a dedicated workshop. This first ritual is about creating what I call a sacred intention chamber. Now, this isn't just about tidying up your desk. This is about creating a psychological trigger, a space that tells your entire being, when I am here, I am creating. When I am here, I am powerful. It's an act of carving out a piece of the universe that is dedicated solely to your transformation. Research shows that rituals can provide a sense of control and reduce anxiety, which is exactly what we're doing here. Here's how you do it. Find a spot in your home, even if it's just a small corner, that can be yours and yours alone. Cleanse it. I don't mean with sage and smoke, unless that's your thing. I mean literally clean it. Dust, declutter, and remove anything that doesn't feel aligned with the future you are building. This physical act of clearing space sends a powerful signal of readiness to your subconscious. Then, set up a small altar. This isn't for worship, it's for focus. Place items on it that symbolize your desire. If you want abundance, maybe it's a single, crisp dollar bill, a citrine crystal, or a healthy, thriving plant. If it's love, perhaps it's a rose quartz or a beautiful candle. The objects themselves have no power. Their power comes from the meaning you give them. They are physical anchors for your intention. Now for the most important part. In this space, you will write your intention. Get a dedicated journal, something that feels special. On a clean page, write down exactly what you want to manifest, but here's the key. Write it in the present tense, as if it has already happened. Don't write, "I hope I get a new job." Right, I am so grateful for my fulfilling new role, where I feel valued and creatively challenged. The reason this works isn't supernatural, it's neurological. Handwriting activates parts of your brain involved in memory more intensely than typing. When you declare a clear goal, you engage a part of your brain called the reticular activating system, or ROS. Think of the ROS as your brain's spam filter. By giving it a clear, specific target, you're programming it to actively scan your environment for people, opportunities, and information that match your goal, things you would have otherwise completely missed. I remember when I was starting this channel, I felt like I was shouting into the void. I made a tiny altar on my bookshelf. On it, I put a small, fake microphone and wrote in my journal, "I am so grateful to connect with and help thousands of people through my videos." It felt absurd at first. But sitting there every day, I wasn't just wishing, I was programming my focus. I started noticing collaboration opportunities I'd overlooked before. I got ideas for videos at random times. The ritual didn't magically bring me viewers, it focused my mind so intensely that I became a person who could attract them. Section 2. Ritual 2: Embodied Visualization. Once you've set the stage with your sacred intention chamber, it's time for ritual number 2, which I call embodied visualization. This is where we move beyond flimsy affirmations. Just repeating a phrase you don't believe is like planting a seed on concrete. It won't take root. Real change happens when you move from an intellectual thought to a full-body, sensory experience. Here's the difference. Standard visualization is like watching a movie of your success. Embodied visualization is about stepping into the movie so completely that your brain can't tell the difference between imagination and memory. Neuroscience has shown that when you vividly imagine an action, you activate the same neural pathways as you would if you were actually doing it. This is a technique elite athletes have used for decades to build muscle memory and confidence before a big game. They aren't just wishing to win, they're mentally rehearsing the victory. So, how do you do it? In your sacred space, get comfortable and close your eyes. Bring your desired reality to mind. Now, go beyond just seeing it. Engage all 5 senses. If your goal is to live in a beautiful home by the beach, don't just see the house. What does the salty air smell like? Can you hear the sound of the waves crashing? Feel the warmth of the sun on your skin as you stand on your balcony. Feel the cool, smooth texture of the countertop in your new kitchen. What does your morning coffee taste like in this new reality? The key is to generate the feeling of having it now. Emotions are the language of the subconscious. When you pair the vivid imagery with a powerful, positive emotion, gratitude, joy, relief, profound peace, your body begins to change chemically. You move out of a state of lack and stress and into a state of coherence and receptivity. I used this when I was cripplingly afraid of public speaking. My affirmation, "I am a confident speaker," just felt like a lie. So instead, I did embodied visualizations. I would imagine myself on stage, but I'd focus on the details. I felt the solid weight of the microphone in my hand. I could smell the faint scent of the stage lights. I heard my own calm, steady voice filling the room. Most importantly, I imagined the feeling after the speech, the applause, the sense of accomplishment, the deep, satisfying relief. After a few weeks of this, something shifted. It wasn't that my fear vanished, but my body no longer went into panic mode. I had given it a new memory, a different experience to draw from. When I finally did have to speak, my brain had a roadmap to follow that wasn't just based on fear. This isn't magic, it's a profound mental rehearsal that rewrites your internal programming. We're about to get to the ritual that truly changed everything for me, the one that can feel a little strange. But it's also incredibly powerful. If you're getting value from this and you're ready to stop just wishing for change and start actively creating it, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button. It tells me, and the universe, that you're serious about this journey. Section 3. Ritual 3: The 2-Cup Method. Okay, I need you to stay with me on this one. This is the ritual I mentioned at the beginning, the one that took me from a hardened skeptic to a true believer in the power of symbolic action. It's called the 2-Cup Method, and on the surface, it sounds bizarre. But its power is in its profound psychological and symbolic weight. This ritual is a physical representation of shifting from one reality to another. Here's the setup. You need 2 cups, some water, and 2 sticky notes. On the first sticky note, write a word or short phrase describing your current, unwanted reality. Be honest. It could be, in debt, feeling stuck, or lonely. Stick this on a cup and fill it with water. On the second sticky note, write a word or phrase for your desired reality. For in debt, it might be financially free. For feeling stuck, it could be full of momentum. For lonely, it could be joyfully connected. Stick this on the second, empty cup. Now, hold the first cup, the one representing your current reality. Really feel the emotions that go with it for a moment, the frustration, the sadness, the limitation. Acknowledge it without judgment. This is your starting point. Then, with a clear and focused intention, slowly pour the water from the current reality cup into the desired reality cup. As you pour, visualize the transition. See your problems dissolving as the water flows. This physical act is a command to your subconscious, signaling that you are aligning with a new state. You are symbolically leaving the old reality behind and stepping into the new one. Once all the water is in the second cup, take a moment. Hold it. Feel the emotions of this new reality, the relief, the freedom, the joy. Then, drink the water. Every sip is an act of internalizing this new state, accepting it into your body. So, what's actually happening here? Is the water magic? No, of course not. The power of this ritual is its symbolism. It's a form of psychological alchemy. You are performing a deliberate, physical act that represents a profound internal shift. For your subconscious mind, which thinks in symbols and metaphors, this isn't just pouring water, it's a rite of passage. You are declaring that a change has been made. My story with this is why I'm even making this video. I was at a point where my business was failing, and I was drowning in debt. I felt hopeless. I'd heard about this method and laughed it off. But out of sheer desperation, I tried it. My current cup said, crushing debt. My desired cup said, financial flow. As I poured the water, I didn't feel a lightning bolt, but I did feel a strange sense of calm, of decision. I drank the water and went to bed. The next day, I woke up with an idea for a completely new business model, one that used my existing skills in a way I'd never considered. Was it the water? No. The ritual shocked my system out of its feedback loop of fear and helplessness. It created a psychological break, a moment where I gave myself permission to see a new possibility. That single shift in perspective is what led to everything that followed. Section 4. Ritual 4 Lunar Cycle Alignment. Once you've made that internal shift, you can start working with external rhythms to amplify your efforts. This brings us to our fourth ritual, lunar cycle alignment. For centuries, agricultural societies used the moon's cycles for planting and harvesting. While there isn't scientific evidence that lunar phases directly influence our lives, we can use these ancient, natural cycles as a powerful psychological framework for productivity and reflection. It provides a natural calendar for your intentions that exists outside the frantic pace of our daily lives. Think of it this way. Instead of setting a goal on January 1st and forgetting it by February, the lunar cycle gives you a fresh start and a structured process every 29.5 days. Here's the simple framework. The new moon is for planting seeds. The sky is dark, a blank slate. During the new moon, you revisit your intentions. What new project do you want to start? What new habit do you want to cultivate? This is the time to get clear and write down your goals for the coming cycle. The waxing moon, from new to full, is for growth. As the moon gets bigger, you take aligned action. This is the doing phase. You make the calls, send the emails, do the work. The visible growth of the moon serves as a constant, gentle reminder to keep building momentum. The full moon is for harvesting and celebrating. The moon is at its brightest, illuminating everything. This is a time to acknowledge how far you've come. Launch the project. Celebrate your wins, no matter how small. It's also a time of peak clarity, where you can see what's working and what isn't. The waning moon, from full to new, is for release and surrender. As the moon appears to shrink, you focus on letting go of what no longer serves you. This is where a burning ritual can be powerful. Write down your limiting beliefs, fears, or resentments. Then, safely, in a fireproof bowl, burn the paper. As you watch the smoke rise, feel the psychological weight of those things lifting. It's a powerful, cathartic act of release that clears space for the next new moon. I used to hold on to failures and resentments for years, and they would just clog up my motivation. When I started aligning my reflections with the waning moon, it created a dedicated time for me to consciously let things go. The ritual of burning the paper wasn't a magic trick to erase the past. It was a psychological tool that gave me a sense of closure and allowed me to move forward with a lighter spirit. Section 5. Ritual 5: The Future Scripting Method. Our final ritual, the future scripting method, takes the idea of a vision board and turns it into a powerful, narrative blueprint for your subconscious mind. A vision board with static images is good, but it often lacks the emotional and story-based context your brain needs to truly buy in. Your brain thinks in stories. It's how we make sense of the world. By creating a compelling story about your future, you provide a detailed narrative for your subconscious to follow. Here's how to do it. This isn't just journaling, this is scripting. You're going to write a day in the life scene from the perspective of your future self, whose desires have already manifested. The trick is to write it in the past tense, as if you're writing in your diary at the end of that perfect day. For example, instead of, "I will be a successful author," you'd write, "Today was incredible. I woke up this morning to the smell of fresh coffee and saw an email from my publisher. They love the first draft. I spent the afternoon writing by the window, feeling so completely in flow. Tonight, I celebrated with friends, feeling so much gratitude for this life I've created." Be ridiculously detailed. Describe the sights, sounds, smells, and most importantly, the emotions. How did you feel when you got that email? What was the texture of the chair you were sitting in? What did your celebration dinner taste like? The more sensory details you include, the more real it becomes to your brain. This works because, as we've discussed, your brain struggles to tell the difference between a vividly imagined experience and a real one. By repeatedly reading this script, especially before sleep, you're marinating your subconscious mind in this new reality. You're not just creating a goal, you're creating an identity. You start making small, unconscious decisions throughout your day that align with the person in your script. My first vision board was a mess of disconnected pictures that just made me feel how far I had to go. But when I started scripting, everything changed. I wrote a detailed script about receiving a specific, unexpected check in the mail that would solve a big financial problem. I wrote about the feeling of relief, opening the envelope, the look of the check itself. A few months later, I got a refund from an old overpayment I had completely forgotten about. It wasn't the exact amount I wrote, but it was eerily close. Was it magic? Or did the scripting process prime my brain to take the necessary steps, like finally organizing my old files, that allowed me to find and claim what was already mine? I believe it was the latter. The ritual created the aligned action. Conclusion. So there you have it. 5 rituals that go beyond just wishful thinking. The sacred intention chamber to create focus. Embodied visualization to program your nervous system. The 2-cup method to symbolically enact change. Lunar cycle alignment to structure your efforts. And future scripting to write the blueprint for your subconscious. The real warning in the title isn't because these rituals are dangerous. The warning is that they work. And when they work, your life will change, and you have to be ready to step into that new version of yourself. You have to be willing to let go of the old stories and limitations to make room for what you've asked for. The power was never in the cup, the moon, or the paper. It's not out there, waiting to be found. It's in you. These rituals are not magic spells, they're keys. They are powerful psychological tools designed to unlock the most potent creative force in the universe, your own focused, aligned, and embodied intention. They help you make the unconscious conscious, so you're no longer driven by fate, but are the director of your life. Now, I want to hear from you. Which of these rituals resonated with you the most? Which one are you brave enough to try first? Let me know in the comments below. Your story could be the spark of inspiration someone else needs to see today. Thank you for being here. Now, go create the life you truly deserve.